IRS is refusing to comment on why IRS agents conducted an unannounced visit to independent journalist Matt Taibbi's home on the same day that he was testifying on government censorship before Congress. A spokesperson from the IRS telling Fox News Digital, quote, federal law prohibits IRS from commenting on an individual taxpayer matter. Tennessee Senator Bill Hagerty joined me yesterday, and here's what he said about how Republicans can respond to this.
This seems highly irregular. This reeks of intimidation. I'm going to continue to put pressure through the Appropriations Committee on the Treasury to get to the bottom of this, even if it requires withholding their funding.
Kaylee, Adam, Ryan, let's get into this because at this point, Matt Taibbi says this was not a monetary issue. In fact, he said that the IRS owes him money, a lot of it.
Right.
What the issue the IRS is saying is this is about identity theft, potential identity theft. Now, Matt Taibbi tweeted out, for those asking, I don't want to comment on the IRS issue pending an answer to Chairman Jim Jordan, but who would want to comment? It's scary as hell. Who would want to comment after an IRS agent showed up at his home unannounced, Kaylee?
Absolutely, and it's nice to see that the Biden administration has wasted no time finding work for its new 87,000 IRS agents. And you know what's scary about this is that this isn't unprecedented. During the Obama administration, the IRS deliberately targeted conservative opponents that they viewed as a threat to the Obama administration. This was a major scandal. So this is not unprecedented. The IRS has done this in the past. There's no reason to believe that this is not exactly what it's doing now.
Possibly not unprecedented, but still an upset to Democrats because Matt Taibbi has always identified as a Democrat.
Yes.
I spoke with him on Sunday. He came on the show on Sunday Morning Futures and talked about what he exposed in the Twitter files. Here's Matt Taibbi before we learned that an IRS agent went to his home.
We have to be on the lookout for these government efforts to try to centralize the cleansing of, quote, disinformation from the media landscape, which I don't think is the government's job. I've believed in free speech my whole life. That was one of the things that attracted me, frankly, to the Democratic Party when I was a kid, was the idea that we were the party that believed in letting everybody have a say, and we'll just make a better argument. But apparently something very dramatic has changed in politics in America. The parties have had a complete reversal on how they view these issues.
Yeah, Adam Johnson, something has seriously changed. Independent journalist Michael Schellenberger testified as well on the government censorship, along with Taibbi, and he's also questioning the timing of this IRS House call. Here's Schellenberger.
Maybe it's a coincidence that the IRS happened to visit Matt Taibbi on the day that he was testifying on the weaponization of the federal government against American citizens, or maybe somebody was trying to send a message. At a time where we've got some serious questions about whether or not the FBI and the IRS are being weaponized against the American people, I don't think this would be a time to be rewarding those agencies with new buildings or new staff.
There you go. And the arrogance of showing up at his home right now.
It's hard to fathom that there are people in the government, and people are going to say, Adam, you're being naive, but it's still hard for me to fathom there are people in the government who are willing to use the wheels of government, which were intended for the benefit of the country, that they're willing to use the wheels for their own purposes. And that's the swamp that a certain politician we all know was talking about. And the swamp is still alive and well, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if they were doing that and not directed by somebody else, I mean, who directed Lois Lerner in the Obama years? I don't know. How do you see it?
Well, I think it also speaks to kudos to Elon Musk for giving up all this communication that
they
was
hate him
private. Well, yeah, because I think the problem here is if you looked at the cozy relationship between Twitter and the government, it was too cozy, right? And I think that's the bigger problem here, and this is why they're targeting Matt.
I think there were 1,000 agents from throughout different government agencies, this is what Matt Taibbi told me, that had their own ideas of who should be censored, what lies should be amplified, what truth should be suppressed.
When that comes out, it's going to be wild.
Well, it did come out. They said this at the hearing. Well, that's the thing, and it's not wild because the mainstream media won't cover it.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Well, what's wild is that the mainstream media won't cover it, but thankfully we are.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we'll